Proportional reasoning is a key topic on the LANTITE exam. Let's go over what you'll want to know for test day by starting with an example. Here we have representations of 3 out of 5 and 6 out of 10. Furthermore, we see that 3 out of 5 is equal to 6 out of 10. The ratios are the same, so they are in proportion. Excellent. Let's have a look at another example. Let's check to see if a cable's length and weight are in proportion. If 15 meters of cable weighs 3 kilograms, how much would the cable weigh if the length was 30 meters and the proportions were the same? Did you find the solution? 30 meters of that cable would weigh 6 kilograms. To solve this, notice that 30 is double 15, so we'll also take the double of 3 kilograms, which is 6. Now, how long would the cable be if the weight was 15 kilograms? Pause the video and find the length. Ready? Great. If the weight of the cable is 15 kilograms, then the length is 75 meters. Can you explain in your own words why that's the correct answer? It's because this cable is 5 times the weight of the original cable. Therefore, we can multiply the original weight of 15 by 3 to give us the total of 75 meters. With all of this being said, the key takeaway is that 3 out of 15 equals 6 out of 30. You're doing a fantastic job. Next, let's talk about sizes. When shapes are in proportion, their sizes maintain the same relative relationship. These characters, however, are not in proportion because the head sizes are different. Now, let's move back to the characters in proportion to each other. Your exam covers the topic of proportional reasoning, so you might receive a question on exam day asking you to solve a proportional problem. If your exam question gives you the measurements that you see on your screen, take a moment to answer how tall the larger boy is. To find out, we'll set the proportion equal to each other. Next, we multiply across the known corners. In this case, 15 times 10, which equals 150, and then divide that number by the third known number, which here is 5. Divide this out and we'll get an answer of 30, meaning we know that the height of the boy is 30 units. Moving on, you might also receive a question on test day that asks you to use proportions to solve percents. Keep in mind that a percent is actually a ratio. This means that saying 35% is actually saying 35 per 100. Keep in mind that we can use proportions to solve questions involving percents. To do so, we'll want to write this proportion like this. Part over whole is set equal to percentage over 100. You're doing great. Now, let's have a look at an example. What is 50% of 240? In this case, the percent is 50. The whole is 240, and we want to find the part. To do so, we'll multiply across the known corners, in this case being 240 by 50, which equals 12,000. Then we'll divide by the third number, which is 100, giving us an answer of 120. Therefore, 50% of 240 equals 120. Keep in mind that while taking your LANTITE test, you may be asked to demonstrate your understanding of proportions through finding a percent. Let's go over this now using an example, such as, what is $18 as a percent of $90? First, we need to fill in what we know. In this case, we'll write 18 over 90 is equal to some percent over 100. Next, we'll want to multiply across the known corners, which are 18 and 100. Then, divide by the third number, which here is 90, which will give us 20, which we can now fill in the blank as 20%. Moving on, note that your LANTITE exam also covers money. Let's refresh your skills on sales price to help you get totally prepared for test day. Starting with the example that reads, the sale price of a jacket was $90, which was only 75% of the normal price. What was the normal price? Start by filling in what we know. Put the sale price over the unknown factor and the percent over 100. Next, Multiply across the known corners, which are 90 and 100, giving us 9,000. Then divide by the third number. In this case, that's 75, which will give us our unknown value of the normal price, which is $120. Wonderful job with that problem. Want to make sure you pass your LANTITE exam? Visit LANTITEPrep.com to get instant access to our full-length practice test. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you in the next lesson.